Thank you to the sponsor today, Third Wheel Podcast Studio, the place where I record all my podcasts for real. And it's no joke, I did research. I did literally like 3 months of research. I found cool studios. I went on Peerspace, Google, Craigslist. I was trying to find the best price point, the best bang for the buck, and Third Wheel Podcast Studio was it. But I'm not going to lie, I was hesitant. I just booked a couple sessions to make sure it was chill, and those dudes knocked it out the park. I'll let you know that.
This is True Buzz, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buzz.
Yeah. Welcome to the True Buds Show. It's your buddy Jack Woltering here with Colbi Maxwell. You can follow her at ColbiCat with an I, C-O-L-B-I. And you can follow her at baked_Betty. She's got a lot popping. She's hustling many avenues here. Thanks for coming in today.
Hi, thank you.
For sure.
How's it going?
Good. We're just kicking it, having a good time. Before this popped off, we were all laughing in here about some shit. Maybe. Yeah. We'll leave it at that for now.
Things you don't want to Google.
So Colbi is serious on her fitness for everybody watching and listening. And I've been doing some cannabis and fitness content. So I think that's a good place to kick it off. What's your cannabis consumption like and how you implement it into your your fitness regimen? Yeah,
so my cannabis consumption is like, that's a good question. I like to smoke a lot of sativa before I go to the gym. I like to dab a lot, and I like a lot of flower. I love blunts. I'm the blunt queen. But I also will like take a fat dab and go to the gym. But on a day-to-day basis, I probably smoke 4 to 5 dabs a day.
Okay.
And then like maybe a blunt or 2.
And what's your preferred blunt wrap?
Swisher sweets.
Swisher?
Original Swisher sweets, please and thank you.
Okay. I see you.
The smoke shop had to start stocking up for me.
Oh, they just have flavored ones or something?
Yeah, they always ran out of the original ones. And now they have to buy extra boxes.
Oh, yeah. They got you.
They got me hooked.
And so you usually do take a smoke before you work out?
I do, every day.
Every time?
Every day.
Word?
Yeah.
You feel like it helps you zone in or what?
It helps me focus. There have been times where I have really bad social anxiety, especially when I first started working out. I felt so uncomfortable at the gym. I was like a deer in the headlights watching everyone around me. I couldn't focus. And so I started smoking, and that would calm my anxiety a bit, but it'd also make me just be like, okay, everyone knows I'm high. I just need to keep to myself. And it just made me like work out twice as hard, and just kept me kind of motivated. I've been doing this like weird little pre-smoke, pre-workout routine for like 5 years.
I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah.
I always like to smoke before working out. But I'm not on your level in terms we were talking before this popped on that you've been competing, and on your first competition you got a pro card.
Yeah.
Which goes hard. Like props to you on that shit.
Thank you. Yeah. And when I'm competing, my favorite, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done. But it's like a little treat for me if I make Cannabutter or like coconut oil and I like cook my vegetables in it, and it's like making my vegetables a treat. And also like a reward, and it forces me like, if I don't want to eat them, then I'm like, I have to eat them. It's got weed on it. Like, don't waste that.
I like that.
There are people who want weed butter and that can't have it.
That's the truth. That's the truth. I've been doing smoothies. A lot are my favorite.
Oh, nice.
With the coconut oil.
Oh.
Just like, especially post-workout, do that with maybe a little mango because of the myrcene terpene they say enhances the high.
Yeah, exactly.
And then maybe a little protein in there. But
that's a really good idea.
Actually,
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, it's nice. And actually, after this, I'm making a video doing granola bars.
Yum.
Doing a coconut oil granola bar.
I like that.
Simple as hell, but
I'm gonna need that recipe, please.
Yeah, for sure. I'll toss it up on the True Buds page, but it's gonna be really simple.
Perfect.
But that coconut oil is so versatile.
It really is. Like, you can use it for everything. Like broccoli, you can put it in a pie. You can put it in like a granola bar in your smoothie. Like just a little bit, and you don't have to infuse a lot of like cannabis into it. You can really like go either direction. You can put a bunch, or you can put very little, so that it's like a minimal amount per teaspoon.
That's a good point. I would like to have on hand 2 different batches, like one lighter, one heavier. Or I guess with the heavier one, you could just do less, right? I guess.
But label them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 3 different ones at my house right now.
Oh, really?
I have a coconut butter not a coconut butter, a regular butter that I made with a biscotti crumble.
Okay.
That one's fire. I put it in a pie. And then I made a coconut oil that's infused with actual flour. And that was specifically a sativa flower. Okay. Because a lot of times edibles put me to sleep. And I kind of want to be more uplifted and awake. So I made that for one coconut oil, and then another one I used a sativa shatter.
Okay.
And so, yeah. I infused.
How'd that one come out?
Really good. So now they're just all chilling in my fridge. But
sorry.
I infused my entire Thanksgiving dinner with it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You went hard on that.
Green beans, mashed potatoes, and an apple pie.
Dang, that's what's up.
It was great.
And how did that hit you?
I was running up and down Santa Monica laughing my ass off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with my dog for an hour. So.
No, I've never done an apple pie or anything like that. But how do you do your infusions? Do you do a crock pot, slow cook, or do you do on the stovetop?
There are a couple different ways that I like to use. My favorite way to infuse is with shatter or a crumble. And I'll just decarboxylate it in the oven for it depends on how long too. Sometimes it's a little bit longer than others, but I kind of just wait until I see all the bubbles kind of pop in it, usually 20 to 30 minutes at 200. And then I just infuse it in the coconut oil or in a double boiler. Usually is the best with butter, because then it doesn't burn the butter.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so, I've only done one distillate infusion and using have you heard of the Dablicator that Jetty makes?
Yes, I have. I've heard of people doing that. I've heard they've had really good results. I've just never used it. It already comes decarboxylated,
yeah, it looks
right?
cool. You could. That's what they say. I didn't try, but you're supposed to be able to just put it on your tongue, like a tincture or something.
Yeah, I've seen them. The RSO oil is supposed to be like that too.
Yeah, and I've been wanting to make some of that for a while. It just takes a long time. You just have to start it early, and the whole process to make that is pretty.
Yeah, I've done it in a crock pot before, and it took 8 hours.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, that's not too bad then.
No, it was really strong butter though.
Yeah, huh?
And it was just green.
Yeah, that's the last stuff. That's why the crock pot's nice. The slow cook, the double broiler is nice, but you got to kind of be there or around the whole time. Where the crock pot is
a fast thing too.
Yeah,
it's a little bit faster, but the crock pot makes it more flavorful.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, it's easier just in general to walk away from. But where do you get your shatter and stuff from?
I get it at a bunch of different shops locally.
Okay.
Honestly, I just kind of walk in and see who has shatter. Especially shatter that has a good price. And there's not a lot of places that I've seen that have really good stuff for shatter. I've seen a lot of crumble. I've been getting a lot of the connected crumble, like biscotti. That one's my favorite.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And how much what do you consider a good rate on that when you're going into the store looking to buy?
Well, so this is bad, but I've always compared to Iowa prices, black market prices. So then I'm a little jaded because I feel like I was getting better prices when I wasn't buying illegally. But I don't want to, if I'm baking with it, I don't want to spend more than $30, probably. Yeah,
it's the hard thing with edibles. And have you heard of the terp market?
No.
A couple people on this podcast have told me about it. You have to check it out, but it's every Thursday in LA here. But they have really cheap flour and they have free dabs too.
Oh, so I heard of the.
It's like a swap meet for
that's
weed,
what I was
basically.
Just gonna say. I've heard of the swap meet. I didn't know if it was a specific day or if it was
might
every day.
be the same thing we're thinking of, but I still want to check it out. But I've just heard that really reasonable. So.
Yeah, I've heard it's really cool, but I've also heard do not go at night, do not go alone.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yes. Those are the two things I've heard. Do not go at night. Do not go alone.
Little words of wisdom right there. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Shit can get real.
Maybe it's just because I'm a girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure guys don't got to worry about it as much, but you never know.
You never know. People be creepy.
People be crazy too.
They be shiesty.
Yeah. I was at the park working out a couple weeks ago. I had a guy cursing me out. Some big homeless dude. I'm like, dude, I don't know what I did to you, bro. I got him, I finished my set and got on my bike. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to get stabbed right now, so I'm out. There's
this crazy homeless lady that lives in my neighborhood, and she always calls me the N-word and yells at me. So yeah, people are crazy.
The homeless life is crazy out here.
Yeah, there are some wild people.
Yeah. Just gotta be smart and gotta
Pray for them.
maneuver around them. Yeah, send good vibes their way right now. But also tell me a little bit about the difference between your accounts, the Baked Betty. I know you just got a new job you were mentioning, and then Nahara CBD.
Yes.
Like, if you don't mind sharing a little insight with us.
Well, so my Baked Betty page I started when I was living in Iowa. I had gotten fired a few years ago for posting on my personal page a picture of me smoking a blunt.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
someone from my job at the time found a picture of me from a year before I had worked there. Just took it in my manager, got me fired.
What a fucker.
Fired. And then I ended up getting my job back because I could prove A, my account was private, B, this photo is over a year old. You can't punish me for that. And C, I know you all smoke pot. Don't mess with me. And so they rehired me, and I didn't get in trouble. So then I just made a second account. My mom was never really open to the idea of me using cannabis when I was living in Iowa. So I wanted just an anonymous profile where I could create content that's just about smoking and dabbing and the cool glass that I was around and the cool people I was around, and it kind of just blossomed from there. And then I moved out here, and it's grown a little bit. I've been able to kind of translate my personal page to be more cannabis focused than just fitness. And so I'm not sure if Baked Betty is going to be something that's just more like cool content, not so much of me, but then I can keep my personal page just me and fitness, and then keep Baked Betty just cool, different cannabis content kind of things. So yeah, that's really the difference between the two pages. But
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I noticed on the main page that you have that you do post a fair amount of. That's the first page I found. Then I saw found the Baked Betty or clicked on the Baked Betty app. And what is there a meaning behind the Betty?
both my grandmas are named Betty.
Oh, that's cool.
And I like to bake edibles a lot. It came from Betty Crocker. I like to joke that, like, if Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg had a love child, it would be me.
It's funny, I saw.
Yeah, like, I like to bake, but I also like to roll blunts and do hood rat shit with my friends. Like, you know, like, it's a balance. I would be there. I want to go craft and build birdhouses and decorate cupcakes, but I also want to go around and do stupid shit. Like,
Best of both worlds.
yeah, I would be truly their love child. Please, Martha, adopt me.
You know, well, it's funny.
Snoop.
It's funny you say that because at that Smart Weed dispensary, I believe they have a picture of both of them in there, like
Really?
a neon one. I'm like, why is Martha Stewart? Does Martha Stewart smoke weed?
You know, I have questions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about her except she went to jail or something.
Best friends.
Are they really?
Yeah, you didn't know?
No.
Dude, they're like besties.
Oh shit, I didn't.
Yeah, they have a
I don't
whole
know how I
show
didn't know that.
together.
Like, I'm a Snoop Dogg fan, I guess I'd say, but.
They have a show together where they like cook things.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
It's like
Snoop
Martha
Dogg's
and
on.
Snoop's potluck.
Snoop's been on his hustle so long.
Uncle Snoop.
Yeah, that guy, he goes hard, man.
He was just on an episode of like Hustle and Flow. I don't know if it's just recently. I think I just saw it recently. And I just adopt me.
Yeah, he's I almost went on his what the fuck? What's his game show called? Have you ever watched that?
What, he has a game show?
Yeah, he has some game show, and then I had like three Skype calls with the producers or the showrunner, whoever it was. I didn't book it, but I was like trying to get on this show with Snoop Dogg, and I was just gonna clown and plug True Buds like on the show and try to like or wear like something like.
Oh yeah,
but
that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that's the second game show that I was like submitted to. Then after that, I'm like, I'm kind of done fucking with game shows.
Why didn't you do it?
Well, I didn't get off. I would have done it if I got
Oh.
offered, but because the other one too, like both times I'm like calling people, like, you know, just like Skyping in and doing this, and it's really not that hard, or shooting an audition video, and then it's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
for nothing guaranteed. But that's the beauty though of shooting your own. Like if you can shoot an audition video or anything like that, saves so much time from driving back and forth.
That is true. I don't audition for anything really. I just do my own thing.
You do fitness modeling.
Yes, I do. Well, in the past, I have done some fitness modeling and such. I've done a lot of different types of modeling. People keep asking me like what my specialty is, and I'm like, don't really have one. It's that I'm versatile, and I think that's like, yeah, it's good as a model to be like, okay, I can do one thing, but as a model, also shouldn't you be able to do everything, or at least more than one thing? Why put yourself in a little box?
Yeah, that's always the hard part for me is like trying to find that, because it's like if you can't, what's more marketable though is the person who is in that little box, probably, unfortunately.
Sometimes.
And then you can Or kind of,
Sometimes you
I feel like you can like start out like that, and then you'll have the skill set and then expand. I don't know.
Yeah, and like when I was doing more fitness modeling, I was kind of on the edge of like I could do more fashion modeling, but I wasn't quite tall enough. But I could do commercial modeling, but that would mean I couldn't be as muscular, or I could get really jacked and like push myself just a little bit harder in the gym and be a really true fitness model. It was kind of like in the middle, and I just was like, I don't really care enough either way. I'm still booking jobs. I'm still getting things done. So I'm like, I can do everything. I've had people tell me at shoots I come out in one look and I look like a completely different person than I did in the last look. And so to me as a model, I think that's kind of important, that you have a versatile look and you're not always I'm just one type of person.
Sure. And so you book your own work then?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you reach out to the editors or...
Since I've moved here, they've all reached out to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But I'm wanting to get in more with an agency to kind of book jobs for me.
Nice.
And more like negotiate better deals for me.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's cool. Like how, like I was saying earlier, you're on your hustle and you've been out here for how long, you're saying?
5 months.
5 months, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're loving it so far. No cold winter right now, huh?
Oh my God. It's been snowing at home since October. It's like negative something every winter there. Like, no, thank you.
For real.
My mom's so excited I'm coming home for Christmas. And like, I'm excited to go home, but not the snow.
Yeah,
already concerned.
That's where I'm going to Kansas for Christmas too. And I'm like, that's cool though. I can take a week of cold. And then it just makes me, when I get back here, I'm just like, oh yeah.
You're like, this is fun.
This is where it's at. Mm-hmm. For real.
Yeah, no. Well, a couple weeks ago, it was really cold here. I'm walking around in my parka, like, embarrassed. I'm like, I'm doing Iowa so dirty. Like, I should not be this cold right now. But you know what? I'm going to go back and be like, yep, nope, I'm going to appreciate the coldness there because it's really not that cold.
Yeah, that's the thing out here. It's And what is, in Iowa, what is the game like? The weed game, I'm sure it's similar to the Kansas and stuff.
Very illegal. Our governor is, am I allowed to say fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, she's a fuck face. Kim Reynolds, you're a fuck face.
Oh, shit.
Because she's had issues with alcoholism, she will not legalize cannabis to any degree in the state of Iowa. She refuses to while she's in office. She has vetoed the bills that have gone in to raise the amount of THC and CBD allowed legally in the state of Iowa. They recently, last week, they arrested a soccer mom in Ankeny for opening a Your CBD store, selling a legal amount of CBD. CBD is legal nationally, but apparently not in Iowa. They arrested her for her store, and none of her products carried more than 0.3% THC in them. They were all within the legal limit, and they slapped her with huge possession charges. So the weed game is very illegal in Iowa.
Yeah. I like how I like that you know all that, and you're on top of the area there.
I mean, like, when I lived out there, no one knew I smoked. I mean, like, my friends knew. I think my parents probably had an idea. Like, people close to me knew, but like a lot of people didn't know because it's so stigmatized, it's so illegal there that no one knew. But I also always wanted to be able to defend myself and stand up for what I believed in that and have an educated argument with someone or conversation, I guess. And then be like, oh, you're not just a stupid stoner. I'm like, no, I know what I'm talking about. I'm very educated because I'm very passionate about it. Because it's something that needed to change, and it's something that's really helped me since I started using it. So.
That's really cool. And that's like, it's when you're talking about, how it is still there, it just makes me wonder, like, or just picturing like the Cali vibe right now out there, like how many years down the road that's going to be.
Years.
Yeah.
Years. Well, the funny thing is, they just legalized it recreationally in Illinois, literally right next door. And
that's going to be interesting.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be honestly, it's a cash crop, especially in the Midwest. We're America's breadbasket to start with, but also like think of all that farmland that's going to waste for all sorts of other stupid things that aren't really renewable resources. Like hemp and cannabis can be used for so many different things. Why are we using farmlands for all the soybeans?
And then it's nuts in the fact that this
all this GMO corn.
Yeah, huh? Best corn in the world, Jersey sweet corn.
Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey has the best corn.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Jersey sweet corn. A lot of people don't think of Jersey as rural. Like I grew up.
I was gonna say.
I grew up on about 5 acres of land in like a pretty small town.
I was gonna say I think of like the mafia when I think of Jersey.
You think of like Jersey City, yeah, the hardcore Italians, Jersey Shore, Seaside, fist bump, let's go, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit's funny.
GTO.
That shit, it's real though.
It is.
I don't know if have you ever been out there?
God no. I would love to.
Shit's real.
I would never come home. Like so, I'm a Guidette. Just kidding. I'm just like
I could see you rocking it.
I'm just like a very tiny like sprinkle of Italian, so I don't know if I could pull it off completely.
Yeah, people think I'm Italian all the time because I kind of have Italian look a little bit with the slick back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not Italian. And being from Jersey too, people are like,
a little bit of an accent.
Yeah, I did know a lot of Italian people though, and a couple of them, and everybody's commuting to the city and shit. But there's always those kids in the Jersey towns where you're like, I don't know. I feel like your dad's a mobster for real. Type shit.
I feel like that is way more likely than in every community than people let on.
Yeah, there's always got to be.
I feel like there's way more organized illegal crime, white collar crime that goes on in every community than anyone will ever let on.
Yeah, I would agree with you too, and anybody will ever find out.
Mm-hmm. Or yeah.
It's like the little bit that gets uncovered is probably just the very tip of the iceberg.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's interesting to think in the weed game too. That's what I thought with this Cushy Punch bust a while ago. I was like, I bet this Cushy Punch, I bet there was a lot of other companies. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yes.
I bet there's a lot of other companies doing the same shit.
Many.
And then they saw Cushy get fucked and they're like, all right, we got to fucking end
They want to make an example out of Cushy.
Yeah.
And so that everyone else would just like dissipate.
The thing before this is, and I still liked Cushy. Like their edibles are potent as fuck.
Yeah, 2 would knock me out.
Yeah, there's like, they will punch you for real, those edibles. Like, but that's so crazy. And I've been talking about them a fair amount on this podcast,
Yeah.
but it's like.
They were the #1 edible product on the market in California.
Okay, I didn't know they were actually the top spot there. I believe it. Yeah, they did such a good job brand building. They had potent edibles. It just shows you though.
But I mean, basically, they were competing with themselves by putting it in the black market, and then they screwed themselves over that way.
Yeah, they were just trying to get it quick. You got to wonder whose idea it was, and if even, I don't know. I need to read more into it. I did a video when it first happened, like a month ago or whatever, but maybe longer now. But
I was really interested by that. I'm very interested by the compliance things, just because, like, I like rules to some degree, but I also like to break rules a lot. And so I'm just
I feel you.
I guess those kinds of, like, compliance-y things are very interesting to me.
They are, and it's like right now, it's such a weird time for it.
Everything's so gray. It's literally 50 Shades of Gray with less kinkiness and more cannabis.
I like that because it's the truth.
It is.
Yeah, it's a weird place that everybody has to operate in right now. And
we're all out here with our little whips. Like, what do we do?
Yeah, like what's going on? Like, I mean, I know everybody, but that's where the market's weird.
It's weird, yeah.
And I've been getting better shit that's not from dispensaries for a better price point, than like flower wise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, I got you. I got this fucking purple nemesis the other day. Like, ooh. I haven't had some straight purple nugs in a while.
Purple nugs are my like favorite. Okay,
thing. Yeah, I'll hook you up with this guy. Yeah, the purple nemesis, and then I got a little sour lemon something. So I got a quarter of each for a total. I got a half, so I got a quarter of each for 85 total for the half.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So it's like when you can get flour that's really good at that price point, it's hard to I'll go buy an eighth in a fucking dispensary and spend $65 or some shit.
Right. You want to know what I miss most about home? My weed man.
Yeah.
I miss the weed man.
For real.
Like,
huh?
I like going to the dispensary and stuff here, but like, I loved my weed man back home. Like, he's the fucking homie.
Yeah, you gotta kick it, chop it up for a little bit.
We literally hung out every time you go pick up weed. We always smoke a blunt. Like, half the time he's like, "You want to stay for Domino's?" Like, yes, man. I always want to stay for Domino's. He has the best snacks. Like, he always had the best nugs.
Yeah, that's funny.
Always hooked it up, and I'm like, you don't get that same experience at the dispensaries. Like, some kind of, but like,
well,
it's not the same.
That's interesting, and you almost gave me like an interesting, funny idea. What if you like that was like the model for some type of dispensary?
The weed man.
Yeah, it was just called like the weed man. It's just a really small shop with like one or two dudes.
And we sit and we do a full consultation. We smoke a blunt together.
Yeah, you have to like book out your set. You have to like go online and do like a 10-minute session at a time. So you go in like, and he walks, and he's really educated.
We watch Netflix for a while.
Yeah, you can book out longer sessions.
Yeah, no, that's like the thing I miss the most. I was like, I always love to sit and chill with people. Like, smoking is very social for me. And since I've moved out here, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't know a lot of people. And sometimes I get sick of smoking with myself. Like, I love me. I think I'm great, but also it gets lonely.
Yeah, it can
And
get
so,
lonely.
like, yeah, and I always loved going to smoking with the weed man because we always had great conversations. I always learned something funny and new and heard. He has the best stories. I've had the same weed man for like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
So, like, there's like a real friendship there.
Yeah.
Like, he was this, other than my family, like, he was one of my saddest friends to leave in Iowa. Like,
So he's going to be happy to come back and roast one with you over Christmas.
yes.
Well, it's good.
I hope.
Well, it's good that you still have that connect when you roll right back. Like, yo, bro.
Bro. P.S. I brought my own weed back, but you want to hang out?
What's good?
He's going to be like, what did you bring me? And I'll be like, I got you, bro.
So, yeah, and those are the price points out there. Is it 16/8 out there?
Depending on who you buy your weed from, but I mean,
Like in general, or like what? Do they do half-eighths out there?
I mean, depending on who you ask.
Okay, because they did that shit in Kansas, and
People would be like, can I get a
off.
half bag? And it's like, fuck you, yes. I mean, like, no, not so much.
Yeah, that was big in Kansas where I moved to. Half-eighths were a huge thing.
I mean, like, if you're,
I'm like, just get it. I'll give you a gram or an eighth.
yeah, I'll give you a gram. I'll give you 2 grams even.
Yeah.
Like, but like a half bag, that's
Yeah,
a
that's-
stupid amount.
No, thank you. I've
Like-
just been bringing it up lately to see everybody's been on the same page.
Yeah, so a half bag is a week. Like, okay, if you're at a dispensary though now, I get it. That I'm like, yes, I want a half bag. I don't want a whole eighth of half the shit in the dispensary. Like, I want to try it before I spend $75 fucking on it.
Yeah, that's the thing with the flower there. And it's honestly, I guess I've been buying mostly outdoor grown shit, like Humboldt Farms
I'm starting
flower,
to.
which is still good. And I do like the fact that it is outdoor, even though I've smoked indoor my whole life growing up. But it's still really good, even though it's outdoor. Pretty reasonable.
I've noticed that I like to smoke outdoor when I'm smoking blunts just because I can just continue to smoke like all day. And I don't feel as guilty.
It's not as hard, it doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah, that, and it's like I don't feel as guilty like oh, I'm just blowing like a whole like $75 eighth on a blunt, like, or 2 blunts. You know, like outdoors a lot less expensive, so you're like, okay, I can just roll this up all day and I don't really feel as guilty about it.
I feel you. That's where like the Old Pal, a couple of the delivery services sell
Yeah,
that
Old Pal's
Pal.
nice.
And it's like, it is what it is. It's some decent. It's some
not bad.
It's some like decent nug, but for blunts, it's solid or something like
Yeah,
that.
and I mean, like, like, I don't need to smoke like a bajillion % THC like strains all day, every day. Like, yeah, I like that higher percent stuff sometimes, but like, I feel like I don't need to smoke 29% like to get high all the time. Like, I feel like that's just something about your tolerance and like your variety of what you're smoking too. Like, I don't know. I like variety in what I'm smoking. I don't need to be like violently high all day.
Yeah, like with the oil you were saying earlier
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Dabs for me hit different. Like smoking flower, I can get a little bit hazy.
I was about to say they're more crisp for you, clear. Like
Yeah,
a dab.
dabs are more like focused. Like especially like if I'm smoking a sativa, I'm like, whoo, I'm on it. We are ready to go.
I love that energy. I'm the same way with Sativa. Like
I'm that person that's like dancing, doing a little booty work, like twerks in between my workouts at the gym. Like, you know, I've had too much sativa and caffeine. Like, I like to hit the sativa caffeine sweet spot, is what I call it, where I've had like a cup of tea, some amino energy, a sativa edible, and maybe a sativa blunt or a dab.
I'm right with you. I feel you. And that amino energy that we were talking earlier, that's the shit.
That is, ooh, purple drink.
And for an energy drink, it's probably one of the healthier options.
Yeah, and to me, it doesn't taste super like chemically, like fake and processed. Like, it tastes like purple Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Like, the grape one's the only one I've really liked. The sour apple one was like,
yeah, I was telling you about the mojito one. I don't know if I mentioned, I've got it once too. A black iced tea.
ooh,
Or
how
a
was
sweet
that?
tea.
Was that good?
It was really good. I actually randomly saw it on Amazon, so I ordered it because I was like, I've never seen this shit in the store. I'm gonna buy the tea one, and it was literally like drinking a sweet tea. So if you like a Arizona iced tea
I
or some
love
shit like
sweet
that,
tea.
you'll like it.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier. I like my basically
you
like my
that
hot
sugar.
tea to
you would love
crunch.
it. Yeah, you would love that.
Sweet tea, like, oh, I was born in the wrong area. Like, I should have been born in the South. How much I love sweet tea.
Yeah, you like that comfort food too. You like the grits and the
I do like grits.
Yeah, well,
But you have to cover 'em
what's
like
your
in
diet
butter.
like? What do you like to eat typically?
So since I've moved out here, it's been a really healthy diet of Shake Shack.
Yeah.
Super nutritious. No. I mean, like it's really been fluctuating. I think I'm gonna start competing again, so it's gonna be a lot cleaner and a lot healthier, a lot more balanced. Lately, with my job schedule, it had been kind of like all over the place. I was eating like twice a day, maybe. I have like a quesadilla and like a burger and like fries.
So you're blessed with a solid metabolism.
Yeah, I'm blessed with a solid metabolism, but I walk everywhere lately. Like when I was living in Iowa, you can't, like you can walk places, but it's not like, oh, I can just walk down the street and go like do whatever, go about my day. Like you're like, okay, I'm going to go for like a nice evening walk with my dog. Like it just wasn't practical unless like you're living in the dorms on campus, and I'm out of college, obviously. So here I can walk everywhere. So I do. I take my dog everywhere. He's registered as an emotional support animal. So we walk everywhere. And so, I mean, like I haven't needed to do a lot of extra cardio, and because I'm not eating as much.
How many, besides those walks, how many days a week, and if you had to say, would you train in off season if you're not going to be competing?
3 to 4.
3 to 4?
But then, yeah, my dog and I hike a lot. We go for a lot of walks. So, yeah, we hike Runyon a lot.
Runyon?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think I've hiked Runyon yet.
It's fun. You should come with us sometime.
Word, yeah, I'll check it
We
out.
have a lovely time. Take the Puffco. Woo!
You know, I still haven't fucked with the Puffco yet.
I have one in my bag.
Oh, yeah?
I brought it. I was not sure.
Oh, I wish we could blaze up in here.
I know. I was like...
One day I'm just going to pull out a blunt and light it, and Nolan's going to be like, what the fuck, bro? Oh.
I mean...
You guys can vape.
The Puffco's basically a giant vape.
I'll have to bring in a vape sometime.
Yeah, you totally can.
But yeah.
I did not bring a vape.
Are they smooth?
It's so smooth. It's so great.
My smoothest bong hit, the first one I ever remember, was through Aurora back in the day.
Ooh,
When I
Auroras are
first got
great.
introduced, I'm like, this thing is so smooth.
I'm a big fan of the Bloom Falaisies. I don't know what it is about them. They're just so pretty to me.
Yeah, just like intricate.
Mm-hmm. They've got some intricate perks. When I was younger, I had one that had like a little teacup handle on it, and so I could just like hook it, and it looked like a little genie lamp. It was my favorite piece I've ever had. I wish I could get another one. I cracked it.
I was about to say, how did it go out?
I got dumped one day, and I was like trying to clean it, and then it cracked, and I like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I lost my shit. I was like, the boom! I could care less about the dude, but like, so yeah.
When it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah, I ended up getting some other little piece. I don't even remember what I got to replace it.
Yeah, you have those. I have a couple memorable ones in my mind, and they're ingrained. Like you can picture. Like right now, I can just picture these 3 that I'm thinking about like perfectly.
Oh yeah.
You become
Same.
connected.
Oh yeah, so connected to them. I love glass. I used to make glass art when I was in college.
Oh damn.
I never did glass blowing, but I tried. I burnt myself really bad, and so I was
That
like,
shit
no, this
looks
is not for me. So it's made me like have a greater appreciation for glass. And then a lot of my friends in college were like heady glass collectors, and that stuff is really cool. They had huge, crazy glass collections.
I love seeing that.
It's so cool to see.
So much money though for like that was my thing is I always prefer buying product like flowers, edibles over.
Right.
But at the same time,
One day I'm going to be a rich bitch, and I'm going to have a case full of beautiful glass that I don't even use.
just have it there perfectly ready.
It's just ready, and it's in a class, and like this beautiful like china case, like that most people have like their dishes and weird little figurines and stuff. And I'm gonna just have beautiful glass pieces.
Yeah, break them out every now and
Yeah,
then
for
when you have
special
guests over. Yeah.
Yeah, like tonight we're smoking the gun. There's this gun pipe that
I've seen one like that.
it looks like a little perfect.
It's like a little
handgun.
pistol.
Yes.
And then the bowl is like where the hammer of the
Yep.
yeah, I've seen that.
There's this one piece at a head shop back in Iowa that's this beautiful Native American, and it's so intricate, and it's got the little dots all over her. She's so beautiful, and that's the piece that I've been like, one day you will be mine.
Is it like wooden, like
No.
with like feathers hanging off?
No, it's fully glass.
Okay.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I was picturing like a wooden old school like peace pipe with. I've wanted to get one like that, like a long wooden peace pipe with
Oh, that would be
feathers.
beautiful. No, it's a woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's really pretty. I would never smoke that one. It's just like a very beautiful piece.
So yeah, it'd be a nice little decoration piece.
Yeah.
Little art.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I need to get in more glass stores around here. I've only gone a couple in my neighborhood in K-Town, but
Oh, yeah.
I drive around, I see so many, which kind of blows my mind. I wonder how long a lot of them are going to be around.
You know, they sell everything and everything there so cheap, like, for them, and they mark it up so much. Like, almost everything wholesale for them is really, really cheap. It's all smoke shop. It all sells itself. Half of it doesn't, like, it doesn't have a shelf life.
That's true. You set it there.
You can set it there.
I guess you have the overhead, but yeah, it's like there's this smoke shop right in K-Town. I used to go to this dispensary every now and then. They must have been illegal because I've heard there's a bunch of, and they got shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Or I went to go there like 4 months ago and it was gone. I'm like, oh, okay. Because it's one of those ones you go in and all the products look old. Like the edibles look like companies I've never really heard of.
Ew.
Or like haven't seen in a long time in other places. I'm
You're
kind of
like, I
like,
have questions.
I'm like, oh. So I just bought, they had really cheap flowers while I went there.
Oh,
like
okay.
below of like, and their taxes out. They had some fucking loophole there. But that's why I went back. I'm like, okay, this is pretty reasonable, but all their shit.
Oh,
you go in
weird.
some places and it's a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think, like, with the smoke shops and stuff, like, all their stuff's from China. It's super cheap.
Yeah, it's all just...
Unless they have a handful of, like, nice glass. That's where their money is. But the rest is, like, super cheap wholesale stuff.
Yeah, shitty glass, shitty grinders.
It's all from China.
That's what's crazy, too, with this whole vape shit going on, all this shit. You can go on these DHgate, Alibaba, these wholesalers, and you can buy some crazy shit. Like, I haven't looked at, like, clothing or, like, fake. I'm sure I could go buy, like, fake.
You can buy the bags. You can
Like
buy
they do it, like-
the Powers Up bags that Cookies has.
Yeah, you can buy all types of shit, which is crazy.
It's wild that you can, like, counterfeit that stuff.
That was my favorite place when I'd go to New York was Canal Street, where they're hustling all the fake Oakleys and Ray-Bans and, like the fake Gucci bags and shit.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never been there.
Oh, you should, when you go to New York, check it out, because that was always, I always just like, you get the people in the corner like, hey, you trying to get a Prada, you want a Prada bag or something? Like,
It's $30.
yeah, they're like, here, and then they'll take you into the corner. But my thing, I'd always buy fake Oakleys and fake Ray-Bans.
Oh, yeah, that's like the perfect thing to buy. Like, why would you spend $200 on sunglasses?
I'd buy 4 or 5 pairs for like $60.
Every time I've bought the nice
Still
ones.
have them in my car.
Oh, yeah. Every time you buy nice ones, they get ruined immediately. The cheap ones last forever.
It's funny how that works, isn't it? So true.
Every time I bought a pair of Ray-Bans, lost in the bottom of a lake, squished, sat on, run over, fall off the hood of my car. I don't know. The $10 Target ones I've had have been through hell and back.
Yeah, they go hard. Target's got some good shit, actually. I haven't been there in a while, but anyway.
I avoid it.
Yeah. You know, I haven't, since Amazon's been around, I barely go out to Target or Walmart anymore.
I'm not allowed to go unattended to most stores.
Oh, yeah?
I get
Things get a little crazy?
I like grocery stores and like shopping stores. I get too stoned and I'm like, I want everything.
Oh, yeah, huh? That's why you got to go with the full stomach.
Yeah. But like shopping, I'm like, yes, we got to buy it all.
Yeah.
And I should not. And I don't. I've gotten better about my retail therapy needs.
Yeah?
Thank
But
God.
yeah, you used to just go ball out?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't go out shopping much. I guess I need to go out, get more clothes and shit, but there's something about it that I don't really...
See, I've worked in retail for probably my entire life, 10 years or so. And so, like, there's something, like, being on the other end of the retail experience for me that is, like, so satisfactory and, like, so satisfying. And, but also, it's, like, it's a human connection thing, too, because, like, otherwise I won't leave my house. Like, I could be totally content with not leaving my house, but there are other times where I'm like, I need human connection. Like, I guess we're going to the mall.
I feel you. Yeah, it's hard sometimes. Like like you were saying earlier, it can get lonely, especially out here in LA. You know, there's so many people, so many awesome creatives, but everybody's on their own hustle
Everyone's
so much.
hustling, and like sometimes you want to hang out with people and not be like hustling and working on stuff together. Like yo, I just want to chill. Like,
yeah, just have that group of friends that are just friends that aren't.
Yeah, or just like just like go out and do fun things. It's hard sometimes to like turn that switch on and off though.
Do you drink at all?
Not really.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I go through phases where I drink, but like since I've moved out here, I can count the number of times I've drank, and it's twice.
Well, especially with your fitness grind,
It makes me like blow up, and then I get weird like anxiety from drinking. I get really bad anxiety the day after I drink, so I just don't.
Yeah, if the day after wasn't there, I would drink a lot more. but it's just that
I
fucking
think
hangover.
everyone would.
And yeah, it just makes you, or me too. I feel you because at the day after, I just feel like kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, like,
I know
what
I
did
could have done better.
do?
Yeah.
Or like, because when you're sober, you're so in control and you don't say the things that you're thinking. But when I'm drunk, like I might say the things that I've been thinking for a long time or feeling or whatever. And then like they spew out and maybe they come off in a way that I didn't intend or a completely different way, or they come out angry and maybe not necessarily the right way. Whereas when you're sober and you have the control over saying those things or choosing whether or not to say those things, like it's presented usually a little bit better than when you're drinking. But sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't like not having control and then not being able to always remember all of it.
Well, that's what I was
accurately.
about to say. Is the remembering part too? Is like you might wake up, or me, I might wake up and be like, oh shit, like I remember saying some shit to this person, but like I don't remember if I was being a dick. But I'm gonna see him like tomorrow when I'm sober. This might be a little awkward.
Yeah, and like I feel like sober me and drunk me is a little bit different. Like drunk me, a lot of fun. I think drunk me is a lot of fun for the most part. A little bit wild and like does things that like sober me wishes I could. Like I like me like if I've had 1 or 2 shots, it's like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
But then you can like carry on and then things get weird and wild and like,
Yeah.
and so like if I could live my life in that stage of like 1 shot deep, we're in this, like that confidence, yes, I would drink more. But like it always gets to like it's a landslide.
Yeah, it does, and it can go quick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it does add that little. It is nice, in social situations. It's nice to have some, and like,
Mm-hmm.
like I still like drinking. I don't drink that much,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's just so. That's why smoking's awesome. It's
Yeah,
like you don't
I would
have
much
none
rather
of
smoke.
this shit. For me, if anything happens when I'm smoking, that would be a bad side effect. Would be me just not talking as much.
Yeah, I either get really quiet or like hungry for a bad side effect. Like, yeah, or just go to sleep.
Yeah, just really.
But like I've never been like in a situation where I like don't remember anything like of the night before when I've been smoking, like, you know,
That's where drinking can be fucking scary if you go
and no one can well, I guess people can roofie your weed. People can lace it with other things, but that's why you bring your own things to smoke.
Have you ever had that happen to you or anybody you know?
Been laced with something?
Yeah.
I mean, can we count a spliff? Because that felt assaulted. I felt
Yeah.
personally attacked when someone handed me a spliff and I thought it was a real joint.
Yeah, I don't fuck with spliffs. I do have, yeah.
I want to like them. I just don't. Nicotine makes me so dizzy.
It just, for me, it's also a flavor thing, and it's also the fact that I have to hold in tobacco smoke like that. I guess you are with the blunt, but it's different. It's so much better. Like, I have a couple boys who do it. I actually have a sponsor for some videos and a couple podcasts, but I say straight up, like, it's just like a natural herb, really. And then I'm just like, I don't use this, but it's an option.
I've had people tell me that they've smoked other herbs with their cannabis, and that I can get behind. But I just don't, me personally, the nicotine in the paper, like from a blunt, that's enough for me. But anything more, like I get really dizzy and lightheaded. Like I can't hit I hit my brother's Juul last year. I thought I was gonna die.
Those things hit hard.
He had to carry me to my room. I puked.
Oh shit.
I'm embarrassed. He's like, I hit it once, and he was like, pussy. And I was like, he's like, you smoke weed. Can't you hit it harder than that? So I hit it, and I was like, done.
No, those things hit like. I thought it was gonna be like even weed. Like weed vapes typically hit hard, but then the Juul, I took like a regular one, like I would out of like a G Pen or something, and then I was like, I thought I was about to cough up a lung. I was like, damn, I didn't think that shit would hit so hard.
I can't do them. I don't like vapes though either.
They
make me cough.
Yeah, so they hit different. I feel like some of them have because they enhance them with certain terpenes and shit, make me sneeze and shit.
I feel like it's a thicker vapor, and I feel like this is weird, but I always visualize it like becoming out of its vapor form into like a weird sticky liquid form into my lungs, and that's why you hack.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, and also I always think of it as like a restroom hand dryer, like the air dryers. Like they get the job done, but you don't completely get high.
Well, I like that comparison because I agree, and I do like vapes. They're really convenient, but
Convenient.
but it's not gonna be the same as anything else.
It's like a weird head high.
Yeah, it's a weird little, but yeah, it's like, and I've talked to a bunch of people about this, and they're on the same page for the most part. It's like you could take 1 or 2 hits of flower, especially a dab, and it's gonna be like taking so many pulls of a vape typically.
Well, and then like next thing you've hit your vape like 4 times and you're like, I got nothing. You hit it a couple more and you're like, holy what the hell just happened?
That shit creeps up on you.
Yeah, and you're like, but this isn't your normal high. You're like, I can't function. I need to lay down.
So you don't really fuck with vapes at all?
Not really, no.
I feel you.
No, I mean, like, I like the packs a lot.
Yeah, they're
Those
solid.
are nice. I don't even own one, but I like it. What other? That's the only vape I've liked so far.
Yeah, I've bought most of them just to try them out. I've done some reviews, but so the Pax is solid. I also like the Stizzy.
I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I mean, it's cute. I will give it that. But, like, I just didn't like how it tasted, and I think it was just the flavor I got. I don't know. And then it got confiscated, so I'm just, don't take your vapes to Universal.
Oh, is that where it happened?
Mm-hmm. Do not take your vape to Universal Studios. They will confiscate it.
Good to know. I went to some bar that, there was like a networking event for e-commerce. The Whiskey and Go-Go. They had some event
really?
there. Yeah, so I go in and they pat me down. They find my vape pen.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I shouldn't have said it was weed. That was my fault. Like, is this weed? And I was just being like, I was high. I was just like, yeah. I should have said no.
Oh, yeah.
But then I went out, like, okay, go put it back in your car. I took an Uber there. So then I just hit it in the bushes. Somebody must have seen me hiding it and swooped it. But it was like a full heavy hitters cartridge.
Oh,
like,
damn.
So I dropped like $40-$50 on that. And I was like, oh,
That sucks.
you win some and lose some.
Yeah, I took like a backpack full of vapes to Universal because I'm sorry, Mom, I was there with you and didn't smoke all day before. And so I'm like, okay, I've got 4 vapes. We're good to go, like in the bathroom. And like we get there and she's like, why do you have so many vapes? And I'm like, no reason. This is just a stash backpack. And they're like, ma'am, are these all weed? And I'm like, yeah. And I mean, they would have confiscated them if they weren't weed though, too. They said you can't vape in the park. And I'm like, okay, you can't just trust that I'm not going to vape here. Like, I'm a respectful person. I did sneak one into my tennis skirt. We were fine.
Nice.
But
Good
they took all my little pods. They let me keep the batteries.
Shit. Yeah, that's a bad vape experience.
It's a bad vape experience. So, like, can't find my blunt.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, you can keep that shit in small places.
I always have little stash boxes.
Yeah. Where?
Pat case.
Where?
I have this little pat case.
Pat case.
Yeah, PAQCA.
Okay.
SE. Pat case. They have a couple different sizes. And on the bottom, they have like a little roach coach, so you can put your roaches in there. They're perfect.
Shit.
But like the box I have has like 4 or 5 spots for blunts or joints, and it's smell proof and it's like very discreet.
Interesting.
It's kind of hard to open if you have nails, but it's really discreet and no one's really messed with that when I've taken it places.
Well, the smell proof part is clutch because the only way I've been able to do it is like using a full out mason jar for the most part.
It's not a bad idea for like pre-rolls.
Just any smell in general, like because
really?
I feel like every other container
You can smell it.
it comes through. But it's
The restash jars, but that's a mason jar basically. So
yeah, mason jars. I used to just go buy the 12-pack from the store and just keep it around because mason jars are just solid and cheap and.
Yeah, but I mean, like you can't like. Let me just casually stick that.
Oh
in
yeah,
my pants.
yeah.
I mean, like I've stuck a burrito in my pants to like get it in a place somewhere, but like I think a mason jar is even more obvious.
Yeah, I'll do like if I'm bringing something somewhere, I'll just buy one. Like it doesn't matter
Those
if it
little
smells,
tubes?
just little tubes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the weird thing that I've been doing since I moved here. I've kept like a big tubby, whatever you want to call it, and I've just put all of my glass jars, every single product, and anything a cannabis product has gone into that tub. And it is at the point I've been here for 5 months, which really in the whole scheme of things, not that long. This tub is freaking overflowing. And it's like, there's so much waste in this industry.
I started doing the same thing. I gave up. My bin got full and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My excuse was I'm going to use them for a video, but I never did.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to take like a photo of everything, be like at 6 months, be like, this is a lot of waste in 6 months. Like, how do you repurpose this? How do we recycle it? Like, you know how Lush or MAC do these programs, like makeup companies where like you bring back 5 empty tubs of makeup or lipstick or whatever, and we'll give you a free lipstick or we'll give you a free like face mask. And it's like, why aren't dispensaries or cannabis companies doing some sort of like incentive like that? Because you can reuse these jars. They can be recycled, which is, it's kind of mind-boggling.
I feel you. No, and I was wondering the same thing.
Like, if you're going to keep using all these glass jars and all this crazy weird plastic, like, why not make it recyclable in a way like that we can actually reuse it? Like, not just taking it to the recycling center of California.
Yeah, have some and make it easy.
Yeah.
Like an easy way to. They have some drop off or something.
Yeah.
Like a mailbox thing.
Have you
Like you just
seen-
throw it in.
Some dispensaries have the Dom Pen boxes where you can take old Dom Pens or old just vapes and recycle the batteries because they have lithium in them.
Yeah, that's what's been weird to me too and seems super wasteful is the disposable vapes.
Oh, they're so wasteful.
It's like you're spending $30, say, on a half gram in a thing that's just gonna,
30 to upwards of 30.
and it's like I don't know. I've bought a couple just to fuck with them and see what they're about.
Yeah.
Like the Fuego is pretty solid because they put but besides that it's like it's just weird.
It's a lot of money just to be throwing it away eventually. It makes me feel like they make me think of AirPods because I've heard a lot of people say, like, I don't have a pair, but I've heard a lot of people say, like, after a while, they kind of short out and you can't really fix them. You just have to replace them. And then they just go to the landfill and the lithium battery just kind of, like, never really decomposes.
It's just there.
It's just
and it's
there.
like, and two on the
creating
disposable.
battery
Yeah.
acid and stuff.
And yeah, because there's still, I haven't thought about this, but with the disposables, you're still going to have battery life typically in all of them because the company's going to make it so it has
Yeah.
probably
so
extra
you have
battery.
just this, like, weird little battery that's, like, got no go-go juice in it.
You know what's weird too is I'll leave a cartridge around for a little while, like to a PAX or a G-Pen or Stizzy or something, and then I'll just like come by like months maybe later and stick it in, and you can usually get like one big pull because all the oil's kind of rested down.
Out of desperation.
Yeah, just to see. I'm like always curious to see, but I've gone way back on doing as many reviews.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I used to do like a review a week of shit, but they're
Nice.
all pretty much like
They're very similar. now.
everything's really similar. It's like you got to be pretty shitty to not, but there still are fucking people out there making shitty products that are still all around.
True. Shitty markets have or shitty products still have a market. Some people.
Yeah, but people that don't know, or mostly people that don't know probably, but people with different tolerances too think it's.
Yeah. Well, I guess everyone's idea of shitty is different. It's subjective.
That's very true, and everybody's got their own tolerance for sure.
Their own preference.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, there's so much out here.
Yeah, because, like, you can tell someone this is the best thing, and they'll be like, but I like this one. This one's like, and you're like, what? Like, I don't want to, like, bash any brands or anything, but, like, I have specific, like, vape examples. Like, you can be like, yeah, this one's, like, just a kind of a distillate, and this one's a live resin. Like, this one's clearly the better one. It's going to taste better. It's going to be terpy. Like, this one's going to be fire. And the percentage is so much higher. Like, even, like, very, like, much so that you would notice a difference. Normally, I'm like, don't look at the THC percentage, but, like, in a cartridge, like, yes, you can tell the difference in those two when it's 20% different.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big thing there. This one's clearly the better one. And they're like, nope, I like the shitty
Yeah,
one.
they know what they want.
All right.
That goes.
Do you, boo-boo?
That's throughout everywhere, I feel like, because throughout my time bartending, you meet people and you get your 60, 70-year-old man, let's just say 60-year-old guy in there who's been drinking Doors for 40 years. Doors scotch.
Oh, yeah.
Just like some shitty scotch.
Yeah.
And then I might
Well scotch.
I kind of, yeah, if people drinking that shit, exactly, well scotch, and if somebody asks for something like that, I stop trying to like, upsell them.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, oh, we just got this one in when I first started out in the bartending
Yeah,
game.
you know you like.
And then they're like, no, like, give me my Doors and a fucking Coke. I'm not fucking with anything else.
Oh, well, and that's hard in, like, bud tending because people will be, like, especially, like, the old school smokers, they come in looking for these old school strains. No one wants to grow that anymore. Everyone's like, we can grow openly. We can experiment. We can try new things. We can breed new plants. We can do all these cool things. And so, like, all these old school stoners are like, I'm looking for, like, old school, like, GDP or, like, just a plain old OG Kush. And, like, a lot of it has been, like, crossbred and, like, it's not a true strain anymore. And they're like, we've got all these different hybrids. We've got, like, 15 different OGs. One might actually be a sativa, one's actually an indica, and then, like, these people are all so confused, and you're, like, trying to upsell them or trying to just figure out what they want or find what they like, and then they're overwhelmed and confused and angry. So that's a huge problem with... It's not a huge problem. It's just an issue.
So you bud tend, or did you...
I did bud tend,
okay,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you've actually had people get mad at you.
Yes. Older smokers, get really frustrated and flustered because they're like... But where are the old school strains? Like, I'm looking for, like, some of them were weird strains I've never heard of. And some of them were just, like, older strains. And it's just like, dude, people are excited to grow new exotic strains right now.
And they were just looking for their particular strain?
Yeah,
they weren't looking for a particular THC amount? Or
no, they're like, I want Gorilla Glue. I want, like...
Oh, and you're just like, yo, we don't have it.
Yeah, I want Blue Dream. Like, I'm sorry, our store caters towards more exotic strains. Like, we don't have it. Like, well, in a lot of the stores I've noticed, too, like, they do cater to more exotic strains. Like...
Because that's where the money is. I mean, most of the people infusing these dispensaries with cash are probably... probably 18 to 34 or some shit. I don't know the demographic.
Yeah, and they want something
like,
different and exciting and new that tastes good, that smells good. Like, you get the old school smokers that are like, I just want, like, a haze. And you're like, bro, like, we've got 14 that are like a cross of a haze. Like, but it's not anything that's a true haze or whatever, you know?
Yeah, to me, the fact that people get mad, like, bartending, I get pissed off people all the time. And I was making a joke about this in another podcast, like how can you be mad at like a dispensary really at somebody? Like maybe you waited in line, okay, get over it, you know. But
not medicated enough, clearly.
Yeah. If somebody's trying to help you find your weed, like chill out.
Yeah, for real, it's very odd.
Yeah, well, that's just people in general, I think.
Yeah,
But
it's retail.
Some people just want that argument. I don't know if it's attention. I don't know if they're just argumentative people or they want.
There's usually something else going on at a deeper level that they just want to take it out on someone else.
Yeah.
And you are usually in the shooting range.
Yep. And the funny thing is, I think most people realize that, but the people doing it, maybe they realize it
It's
too.
like, you know what? I'm not going to take it personally.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's them. They don't know me. They can't be mad at me. Like, I don't stock the store. I'm not the buyer. Like, I don't make these decisions. I'm just here slinging the weed.
Yeah. That's when I just always put on an overly big grin and be like,
what else can I show you?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's very interesting how customers can be sometimes.
And how did that work for you? Did you get, because I've gone to some dispensaries, this is back when it was medicinal, but they would take the little extra nugs and put them in jars when they're weighing it.
So I did work at a trap shop when I first moved out here, and we did weigh everything out. I liked that. It was kind of cool. Like, it made me feel like I was a pharmacist. I liked that.
I like that vibe too.
And like, it was fun because we would get like new product in and it'd be like a fat ass bag of weed. And like, coming from my way, you don't see that very often. So we're like, yes, it's new weed day. And we're like over here putting like the whole bag in like a big old like mixing bowl kind of thing to weigh it all out and put it in these jars. And it's just like, you get to hold it. You see these big nugs and you're like, wow, this is so different. And then like you go to the store and like a legal shop and you see it in the little jars and you're like, that's not as exciting. Like, I don't even get to pick out my nugs.
Yeah. Because some places will give you a jar to smell, but you don't know if it's the same shit, really. Because they don't open the jar that you're going to buy. I think. I don't know.
They should. They should be labeled.
Should. Oh, okay.
They should be labeled.
And so did you get tipped out? Did you get tips in weed? Like,
yeah. So
what were the perks, I guess?
All of the shops I've worked at, I've gotten tipped. The last shop I worked at, because it was a little bit smaller shop, we had a smaller staff there. We got tipped a lot better. That was really nice. We had some really great reps there that gave us samples. We had a lot of product demos. That was really nice. It helped us like be able to sell the product a lot better, and it helped for me. Like, I like when reps want to give us product to sample because it means that they believe in the product enough to give it to us, to try it, and to be able to speak about it. And so that was like a big perk, just being able to like sample some of the things we got or try some of the exclusive stuff before we got it in or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, I've worked at a couple different dispensaries. Different perks at each one.
Word.
Right, for sure.
What would you say, as we're wrapping up here, what would you say to somebody who wants to get in the game, either in, the dispensary game or like the cannabis and fitness space, or kind of what's been your journey or something, maybe a takeaway? Dropping hard questions on you here at the end.
That's a hard question. Be yourself, because there's room for everyone. That's something I worried about a lot. Like, coming out here, I'm like, oh my God, all these girls are going to be just like me. I'm going to have to compete for my spot. And I realized there's room for everyone. We're all different. And there's room for all of us to grow and work together, not compete with each other. And it's not just girls either. Like, there's room to grow and collaborate with everyone and work together and not just compete with each other. And sometimes there is that competition, but it fuels you to be more inspired and work harder, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. So I would say just put yourself out there and take the risk. It's a scary risk because, I mean, for me, I'm coming from a state where it's illegal. It was so frowned upon. I had to tell my parents, look, this is what I want to do with my life. I told them right before I moved, like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be in cannabis. And it was something they were so against up until this point. Like, they didn't know about my cannabis use until I told them I'm moving out here, pretty much. And that was a huge risk, because I could have been like, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. And that's what I was scared of. But it was a huge risk, but it was a huge reward. And so just put yourself out there. Try something different. If it doesn't work, I mean, you can always get back up, I guess. I don't know. That's not necessarily the most inspiring, by like, you can always get back up. But like, trying something different, you at least you know that you tried, rather than looking back and regretting, like, what if, like, and then being salty and resenting it and being shameful towards not doing it. I think that's the worst thing that could happen, is being like, I spent the last 5 or 6 years in Iowa regretting not coming out here and being resentful towards my friends who did do this. True. And I realized, like, well, it's not really anything they did. It's my own choices. So if I don't try, if I don't put myself out there, if I'm not doing the work, I can't be resentful towards them. And I shouldn't be resentful towards myself, but you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah. So if you don't do it, you never know.
You won't know.
No, that was a great answer.
Yeah. You have to put yourself in a place of vulnerability and risk, of uncertainty, to get joy out of it. And you learn a lot more from your failures than you do your successes. For sure.
No, I was about to say, that's where the true happiness can come from.
Yeah, because after you failed, like, the greatness that comes from it, like, after all the hard work you've put in, you can feel how it's paid off. It's not so much how it ends, it's how you get there.
True that. Mm-hmm. True that. Get on the journey. Hey, Colbi, thanks again for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.
Awesome.
And keep up the grind. And remember, you can go follow Colbi. Those of you watching, the link will be below on the YouTube video. It'll also be in the description of any podcast, wherever you are listening. ColbiCat with an I, Colbi Maxwell, baked_Betty. That's what's good.
Awesome.
What you about to go smoke tonight?
I just got some Raw Gardens.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was some sativa. Sapberry OG, I think.
Word.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. What about you?
Shoot, I got just that Purple Menace. And I got a lemon. I'll probably go home, smoke a little sativa, make these bars, shoot a video, and then got some editing to do. Thank you to the sponsor today, Third Wheel Podcast Studio, the place where I record all my podcasts for real. And it's no joke. I did research. I did literally like 3 months of research. I found cool studios. I went on Peerspace, Google, Craigslist. I was trying to find the best price point, the best bang for the buck, and Third Wheel Podcast Studio was it. But I'm not going to lie, I was hesitant. I just booked a couple sessions to make sure it was chill, and those dudes knocked it out the park. I'll let you know that. Some chill dudes you're going to work with when you book your session. So thanks again to the sponsor, Third Wheel Podcast Studio. Go to thirdwheelpodcaststudio.com to book your session today. I promise, I literally put everything on the line that you will be satisfied. But without further ado, let's hop into the episode.